Hi everyone, so we're going to do this problem right here, which is 6-5-4, and it's saying initialize the variable divide to a function called divide function with the values of 12 and 4. So let's do that first. So what we want to do is initialize. Remember, we set up the var, and then we use the keyword divide. Well, we have the name of the variable, which is divide, and then it's equal to the function we want to call it, which is divide function. And we have to add these brackets right here, opening and closing, and inside we add the values of 12 and 4, semicolon. So this is how we initialize this function, so we could start it off. And what we want to do now is we actually want to set up the actual function, so we do function, and then we have to call that same word that we just created, which is divide function. And then we have these brackets again, which are going to have the parameters. And these are default naming conventions. So we'll do, we'll just call it value 1 and value 2. So use camel case. And right here, we want to use the curly brace brackets because we want to now do something inside the function, and we want to return a certain value. And it says, calculate 12 divided by 4. So when we look here, it's 12, value 1, 4 is value 2. So we want to do value 1 divided by value 2 because now we are dividing the two numbers that is being passed over here through the parameters. And once we do 12 divided by 4, it returns the value, which should be 3. So now the variable divide is equal to 3. And when we console log out this, so console.log divide, let's do node test.js. So let's see here. Oh, I'm on PowerShell. Okay, let me close this. Let me just open up a new terminal. New terminal here. And let's do cd desktop and then node test.js. So you see here, we get the value of 3. So what we're doing here, and see node test.js does work on PowerShell as well, but you should always change this using this arrow here and go to command prompt. It just is going to make it easier because some of the commands are going to be a little bit different. So node test.js, still get the value of 3 right here. But as you can see right here, whatever we call the function, we have to actually call it and specify here as the function as well, because we have to be able to find it in order to execute whatever we want to perform. So right here we got the values that are passed over, and then now we want to do something, and now we return what we've done back up here, and now we get the value of divide. So that's why we're console logging it out, and that's why, and also when I say to then answer on the same line, we do the single line comment, and then that should be 3. And as you can see, we get that in the console log. And now we're not done yet. We want to also document this function. So remember, we put / 2 stars, then enter. And as you can see here, we got it all set up for us already. JavaScript or Visual Studio already knows what you're planning on doing. So once you're above the function and you do the star symbol like this with the / 2 star symbol, it already knows to set up this entire thing. So it opens like this, and then it closes with the star and then the /. You have to have this, or else if you don't, you can see here everything gets commented out, and when you run this, nothing's going to happen, nothing's going to show because this is all commented out. So you have to have proper documentation in order to make sure it all works. So let's add a description for this function. So at description, the divide function, and for value 1 we can say the first value, the second value. We have to describe it. This is just a general question, so we'll just give it these random basic information, and now it returns the first value that is divided by the second value, something like that. And now This gives us proper documentation, so when we have other team members who want to come in and reuse this function, they'll know exactly what it will perform, and they'll see, okay, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't use this function, depending on what the description and all these parameters and returns, what it will do. Because when you have a large application, you may have hundreds of thousands of functions, and to have these proper documentations makes it a lot easier for everyone on the team or newcomers on the team understand what this function will perform. And this is how you properly set up a divide function.